What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Houston Productions video. I'm your host Lucas to bring you another What's Coming video. More specifically, we're talking about what is coming to Apple TV Plus in the month of February of 2023. Yes, I know what you're saying. It is already February. Why is this video coming out late? I apologize, guys. I'm going to make sure this doesn't happen again in the future. But luckily enough, Apple really didn't have any big things dropping today or tomorrow, so we're all good to go. But before I can jump into my top 5 things that are coming to Apple TV Plus in February, I need you to do a few, whatever you want to call it. I need you to do some stuff for me. 1, I need you to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. 2, I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. A lot of people who have been watching, these videos are coming back semi-frequently, or maybe you're new around here. But go ahead, subscribe, and then hit that bell notification as well. That'll keep you updated for all of our future videos. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into my top 5 things hitting Apple TV Plus in the month of February of 2023. And jumping right into my first recommendation, dropping on February 3rd, is a movie called Dear Edward. A 12-year-old boy becomes a lone survivor of a plane crash as he and others are affected with the tragedy and trying to make sense of what has happened, the why me situations, trying to understand how they survived while others didn't. Unexpected friendships, romances, and communities are formed. Now, this looks like a very sentimental type of movie. I think that this is going to be something that's going to strike a lot of people very well. I think that, especially leading into, Valentine's Day and stuff like that, I think this is going to be pulling on a lot of people's heartstrings. So make sure you check out Dear Edward, dropping on Apple TV Plus on February 3rd. And jumping into my second recommendation, dropping on February 17th, is Hello Tomorrow. Set in a future retro kind of a world, we are centered around and focused on a bunch of salesmen. But these salesmen are, in particular, are selling something a little odd. They are selling lunar timeshares. Yes, I'm talking about your door-to-door salesman is selling something a little bit unique here in this. And it looks like an interesting concept. We'll have to see how this one actually strikes. It sounds like it's going to have a little bit of humor to it. I haven't seen too much or heard too much about it. I am interested. It's not at the top of my list, but definitely be sure to check this one out on February 17th. And then go ahead and drop a comment down below. Let me know. Are you interested in this one? Does this kind of seem like something we needed? Is it just something extra? Either way, let me know down there in the comment section. And jumping into my third recommendation, also dropping on February 17th, is a movie called Sharper. This is going to be a neo-noir thriller, so this is going to be something that's definitely up my alley, and that alone might be pushing a little bit of people away from this because those neo-noir kind of thrillers can be a little slow-paced, can be a little overly dramatic, but set amongst New York City's bedrooms, boardrooms, and bar rooms, characters compete for riches and power in a high-stakes game of ambition, greed, lust, jealousy, and it will just keep audiences guessing until the final moment. Now, based off of just that log line right there, I'm in. This sounds like a nice little mystery. It sounds like a very scheming kind of episode. It sounds very much like a Mad Men Succession kind of plot line, but set in a neo-noir kind of plot, kind of setting. And that sounds like it's something I'm going to enjoy. So, I definitely am going to be tuning into this one, and I think you should as well. So check out Sharper, a great neo-noir thriller that is dropping only to Apple TV Plus on February 17th. And jumping into my fourth recommendation, dropping on February 23rd, is a 8-episode TV series called The Reluctant Traveler. This series is going to follow Eugene Levy, the dad from Schitt's Creek, the dad from American Pie, basically one of the funniest actors that is still currently acting right now. It's going to follow him as he travels to some of the world's most iconic locations. And let's kind of, it's how it's going to impact him. This sounds very much like a opposite version of Somebody Feed Phil. Somebody Feed Phil is very much centered around, tasting food and stuff like that. And Phil seems to enjoy it. Just based off of the title, this kind of seems that Eugene Levy is somebody who doesn't really like to travel. So this might be taking the aspect of trying to impress him and show him that there's a lot out to the world to possibly inspire people like us whenever we sit down and watch it. So definitely check out The Reluctant Traveler, dropping to Apple TV Plus on February 23rd. And my final recommendation, dropping on February 24th, is a TV series called Liaison. Yes, based off of the name, it's going to sound very much like there's going to be espionage. It's going to be a thriller. It's going to be something kind of reminiscent of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because it's also going to involve a plot point of love. So, what happens when people on opposite sides of the law, opposite law enforcement agencies, are either hunting each other down? What are they going to do whenever they realize that they have to choose between the duty and the work that they do on a day-to-day basis, their career versus a person that they love? It sounds like an interesting plot. Apple TV is going to do something really interesting this year where they're just doing good TV. They have a lot of returning series that have an established audience, and that is particularly why I wanted to make sure that I start including Apple TV onto the What's Coming video series, because Apple has a lot of really good stuff coming. Stuff from people like Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio. There's, Ted Lasso already on the streaming service. There's Mythic Quest. Apple TV has been flying under the radar, and you need to start paying more attention. It's one of the cheaper streaming services to get, and it is well worth the money. So if you aren't subscribed to Apple TV Plus yet, you need to be, because this year is going to be the year that I think that they really start being thrown into the upper echelon of names as streamers, up there with HBO Max and Prime Video, where they spend and invest in a lot of good quality content. So definitely check out all of these recommendations that I got for you guys. And that's going to go ahead and bring us to the end of this video. I can't thank you enough for tuning into another Houston Productions video. I'm your host, Lucas, and I'll catch you in the next one. Happy watching.